So hello everyone. So we have today Ms. Rajeshwari Hariharan, a well-known name in lawsuits. She basically is a great lawyer, a famous person among the advocates and everybody here in Delhi especially. She is actually a lawyer of Supreme Court and she also practices in High Court. She is also the owner of Rajeshwari and Associates, which was founded in the year 2010. The firm is committed to provide quality legal advice and seamless services to clients and now has evolved to become one of the most preferred intellectual property law firms in India. Ms. Hariharan has been the forefront of many IPR cases where she has urged several patent and trade secrets litigation at Supreme Court of India and various high courts across India. So here we are with Ms. Hariharan. Thank you so much, ma'am, to give us your valuable time. And it is the time that we ask you several questions and we get to know more about yourself. So I'll quickly come on my first question. Though I personally have read a lot about you, I know you very well, but I would request कि आप हमारे viewers को कुछ ऐसा बताएं जो मैं नहीं जानती हूँ या उन्होंने नहीं पढ़ा या वो नहीं जानता. So in short, आप हमें अपने बारे में कुछ extra बताएं.
Sure. My great pleasure to talk to all of you and share my thoughts. So, as all of you know, I do a lot of intellectual property rights cases. I do human rights cases, and I do a lot of other cases in the High Court, Supreme Court, and various other courts. And I've been arguing as a counsel and litigating these cases for various people for the last 20-25 years. So, apart from just being a lawyer, it's a passion for me to fight for the rights of people. So I do a lot of pro bono cases as well. And apart from my lawyer side, I have another side where I do a lot of charity work. And I also am a very avid photographer. And I love music, so I play music as well. So, and then I feel I write a lot of articles as well. So I like to express my thoughts, writing, reading, and talking to people and helping them out. So these are all the things that I do. And of course, I love wildlife. So anytime that I get, I just rush to go and see the wildlife, capture that. So the whole idea is that we have to work towards a system where we are able to integrate ourselves with the wildlife because that's part and parcel of our life. So one of the reasons why I took up photography as well is to create that awareness among people. So these are all the things that I do.
Thank you so much. As I just said that, though I know, but there are certain candidate things that I'm not aware of, and wildlife loving and photography became one of those things. So my next question would be that what do you think about women empowerment? Because you yourself portray a really very good image in the society, as you yourself are a good lawyer. So what are your opinion about the women empowerment in the country?
It's a very good question. So I'll take a couple of minutes to answer this. In our society, we have two kinds. Our society is divided into Hindustan and the urban India. So while in Delhi, Bombay, Chennai, and perhaps in the Tier 1 and the Tier 2 cities, as compared to the last 10 years, we are now finding a lot of women coming in the front, working as lawyers, coming up as good counsels in law firms as well as otherwise, which we never saw 10-15 years ago. Because 10-15 years ago, the scenario was that young children who used to do law would come, they would intern, they would do articleship, they would get married, and then they would forget about law. But now we are finding that people are continuing their career, and they're continuing their career not just in law firms but in litigation, which is much harder because litigation is the second husband, I would say, for lawyers, as women lawyers. So people are continuing that, so that's a very good thing which is happening. And now we're finding a lot of women who are coming up as judges, so that's another thing which is good, which is happening. But there is yet another aspect of the entire scenario which we must see. When you have a woman judge, she has a triple role. She has a role as a judge, she is also a mother, she is also a sister, so she cannot get away from that. So there is a day when there is no holiday, when there is Kadwa Chowk, but then she has no option but to come to your court. She, because the people are dependent on the judgments that she gives, so she has to spend that time in the court. And if that kind of a woman in a district court or some, even in the high court or any other court for that matter, just takes 1 hour off, they'll say, there are a lot of people in the gallery who will come back and say that no, she is a woman, today is Kadwa Chowk, that's why she is not come. If it is a woman, if it's a man, this kind of a remark will never come. So those kind of things are there. But I mean, as overall, I would say that the things are improving. A lot of people are coming in the forefront, and people are, coming out, becoming judges, becoming in the law field and in other fields. People are coming. There's a strong statement which is being made. We still have a long way to go. So though we seem to have sort of cracked the glass ceiling, we haven't yet broken it fully. We still have a lot to do.
Okay, and so as you have given a very good opinion about women empowerment, have you yourself have feel any gender discrimination in this field?
So I don't think there is gender discrimination by and large in this field. This is one field where you don't have that kind of situation. There's no gender discrimination between judges, between lawyers. The judges always see you equally, whether you're a woman who is arguing or a man who is arguing. It really doesn't matter. Of course, you can never match the pitch of the man. So we can forget about that. But apart from that, there is no discrimination. But there is some kind of inhibition among the women themselves. So which is a thing that they have to shed and come forth. So while there might not be a discrimination in the system, it is for us to come forth. And this system is always welcoming you. Anyone who comes forth, who has great material, will always be welcome. One of the good judges was Justice Fatima, who was a woman. So you have lots of women who have become judges, and have given great judgments.
So अभी तक आपकी लाइफ में कोई भी ऐसा who has inspired you to become what you are today? Is there anyone?
ऐसे बहुत हैं. अब जैसे आप हमारे लॉ फील्ड में ही ले लो आप, you have जस्टिस एंड लॉ, जस्टिस राजीव सहाय एंड काफ़ी what I would say disciplined, very meticulous, काफ़ी इंस्पिरेशन ले सकते हैं आप इनसे. We have Dr. Manu Singh, Abhishek Manu Singh, who is just known in the entire profession for his in-depth analysis. वो इतने अच्छे लॉ के कॉन्सेप्ट्स उनके पास अच्छे फाउंडेशन है, एंड ही इज़ वेरी वेरी डिसिप्लिन्ड. तो आप उनसे बहुत कुछ सीख सकते हो. ऐसे बहुत हैं, इकबाल छात्रा, but you can learn a lot from them. So people have written books also about them. Nami Palkhiwala. I was very fortunate to work with Mr. B.R. So I was also fortunate to work with a lot of people who are very very inspirational. So I said, बहुत है वो, from whom you can take a lot of lessons. And every day we go to the court, we always learn something. It's like every day is a new day, every case is a new case for us to learn.
Okay. So what is your opinion for Ukraine and Russia war? Do you keep any thoughts on that?
Sure. It is my personal view. War is actually not really necessary. These are all things that can be sorted out through dialogue, especially in the current scenario. There is really no need for Russia to wage a war with Ukraine, or Ukraine to wage a war back with Russia. You're going to both countries are going to go backward economically 20 years. And then it is going to definitely affect the balance in the whole world. And who else will gain out of it? It will be some other third country. We all know. So it's really not a desirable thing. But of course, India is doing the right thing of keeping away from this. My personal view is, this is not the right time for India to interfere with this entire situation.
So you have already solved my next question, because I wanted to add that what India should do in that condition, but you already have given the answer that currently we should stay away.
हाँ, हमें तो अभी तो बिल्कुल उसके वहाँ पे नहीं जाना चाहिए, क्योंकि हमारे पास ही बहुत सारे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. We have problems with Pakistan, we have problems with China, we have our own internal issues. So we should not. Yes, of course, if Russia and Ukraine come to Mr. Modi for us as a peace broker, then perhaps वो अलग बात है. लेकिन मेरा मानना ये है कि अभी तो हमारा ये सिचुएशन है ही नहीं कि हम वहाँ पे जाएं और किसी भी कंट्री को हेल्प करें, क्योंकि we are. What is our nation's motto? Our nation's motto is peace loving. We don't attack. We are not the ones who go and attack. We are not the ones sitting with a warhead and saying, I am ready to attack. Mujhe bhejo, I am just waiting. We are not that. We are a peace-loving country and we want to grow economically. We want to become one of the superpowers in the world. ये रास्ता बिल्कुल ही नहीं है superpower बनने का.
Yeah, right. So there is nowadays a very emerging issue in our country that we all are aware of, which is hijab controversy. So what is your opinion on hijab controversy?
तो इसमें तो this is a very good question और हमें सब इसके बारे में जानना चाहिए. See, why are we going to education institutions? हम चाहते क्यों हैं? We are going there to gain knowledge. The only reason why the teacher is coming there and why the students are coming there is to impart knowledge, and the students are there to take knowledge, to acquire knowledge. In that, the teacher has to give knowledge to every student, whether he is poor, whether he is rich, whether he is a king, whether he is the man of the road. The teacher has to impart education. That's the culture we are in, and that's what we are doing. And it doesn't matter whether the person is a Hindu, is a Christian, is a Muslim, is a Sikh, or whoever that person is. That is the reason why we have uniform. Why do schools have uniform? Everybody can come in color dress. Schools have uniform because everyone has to be treated equally by the teachers, except for the face. Everything else has to be totally uniform. It has to be that. That's the reason why, why do certain professions have uniform? Doctors have a uniform. Lawyers have a uniform. We only wear black and white in the court because the judge is expected to give justice, not based on my colorful sari or his, Louboutin or whatever dress. It's because of justice. So similarly, when you're going to an educational institution, you're acquiring knowledge, and she or he is coming there to give knowledge. So therefore, it has to be equal. So when you're talking about equality among students, then there is no place for all these religious things. Then today somebody will say, I want to wear hijab. Somebody will say, no, I want to wear my turban. Or someone like me will say, no, I want to wear my three vibhuti. I want to have three stripes of the vibhuti on my head. So there will be a lot of people who will say a number of things. Someone else will say, I want to wear a turban. So where are we going there? So this is the moral part of it. So that, and also if you see, really speaking, if you analyze this whole story, hijab is actually not compulsory. It's come into our country only in the 70s and perhaps a little later than that. It is something which has been imported into our country. It's not like it was in part and parcel of Quran, and from day one, everyone and each and everyone is wearing it. So even otherwise, if you see, even if you ask a general Muslim, it's not so much compulsory. Secondly, if you talk about it legally, what is the law behind it? In educational institutions have the right to lay down their own norms for the institutions that they run. So if I am a Christian missionary and I am running a school, then I have the right to lay down the rules and regulations as far as my institution is concerned. That's a liberty given to me under the Constitution. So I can lay down, everybody will wear pink uniform. Everybody will wear blue and white uniform. That's my discretion. I can also say that in my institution, everyone will wear whatever color clothes they want. Everyone will wear, saris and come. That's the liberty given to us. So therefore, religion has no place here. So this is a controversy according to me, it's my personal view, that it's a controversy that has been manufactured. Even if you go, 30 years back or 20 years back, there were a lot of Muslims who were studying in schools. They did not wear hijab and they came to college, they came to schools. Everybody studied, they did graduate. We go back home and I go back and I wear what I'm supposed to wear at home. I don't, so there is a limit where you go. You know, you go back home and then you wear whatever you want to wear. Nobody is stopping you. So if I want to go to a madrasa and I say, no, 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 I will wear a sari and come, it won't work because that's the norm of that place. So therefore, the educational institutions, just to give you a background, educational institutions do have that liberty to lay down the norms for a uniform, and they cannot be compelled to accept any others or any other views or compel students to wear certain things, or neither give the liberty to every student to wear whatever they want. Then the whole issue of uniformity will go for a toss.
Yes.
And then you will be discriminating. Then you will say, no, she wore hijab and that's why you gave her 4 marks less.
Yes.
He wore something else and that is why you gave him 3 marks less. That's not what we want.
Right.
And it's not even otherwise, it's not good for the nation, because if you're looking at people who are coming out, you want a secular society. If you want a secular society where you come out, when you in your homes, in your offices tomorrow, when you come out, you want people not to talk to each other because he's a Muslim or a Christian. You want him to talk to you because he's a colleague of yours in the office. You want him to see with the same eye. And that will be lost if we get into this middle.
People nowadays, I think that they are taking secularism in a little different way. They think that if they oppose the other religion, then they call themselves secular. The secularism means basically that you're not able to discriminate, that whether the person is Hindu, Mohammedan or Christian. And
That's
I
right.
guess uniform gives you that view. It is what I feel that it is just a religious propaganda nowadays. But yes, definitely an emerging issue in our country. So as we are very less we are aware of these trademarks and patents. So can you please guide us a bit about what actually is trademark or patent, in which you specialize basically?
Oh, thank you so much for this question. So, any trademarks, in fact, IPR is very, very important for any business. Businesses run on IPR, it's the fulcrum of all, businesses. So anyone who starts a business, like a startup company, we always think that, okay, law का चीज़ है, बाद में देखेंगे. पहले हम अपना GST वगैरह करा लें, उसके बाद में law का देखेंगे. But no, this is the most fundamental thing, because it's a brand. आप no name सोचते हो अपने startup के लिए. But then that's the brand you are going to build, no, for your product. That's the brand you are going to invest. The public perception is built on that brand, and then you are going to make products one after the other. Then you want to keep a monopoly in the market. So that is all because of the IPR that you built. So therefore, IPR is extremely important for any industry. Trademark is like, suppose you take a parachute bottle, the oil bottle. It has everything. It has the parachute, which is the name, so it's a trademark. It's the shape of that bottle, so there's a design. Then there is the colors and scheme and everything, so that's the copyright. Then the kind of oil, you refine it, there is a process which goes into making that oil refined, and you give it some kind of aromatic odor to it. So that's a process, so that's a patent. So this way, we think of a parachute oil, but it has got all IPR into it. It's got lots of IPR woven into it. And if you look at it like this, today, everything in the world that you use has got IPR, right from the food that you eat, right from the conflicts that you have, to the gas stove and everything that you use, the gadgets that you have, everything has got IPR into it. So I think, I'm always telling all my interviews and in my discussions that, we should make IPR as one of the subjects which people should learn even in their schools at some time, and especially in the colleges, so that people are aware of IPR. Should not become something where I have now learned about patent, okay, now I have learned about trademark, हमें कुछ करना चाहिए इसके बारे में. It should be something that we already know. We are not in 1950, we are now in 2021. So in 2021, it should be so much part of your curriculum and your school. Every student who comes out should be aware.
So these patents and trademarks are of national level or international level. Suppose I have got a patent in India, so is it applicable all across the world or only in India?
So all of these are territorial. So whatever trademarks, patent, etc. that you get in India is only for India. So if you want to export these products elsewhere, then you'll have to secure IPR in those countries.
So we have a procedure.
There is a procedure. There is a procedure. There are lots of treaties.
Okay.
So that's exactly what I'm saying. It should not become the domain of only a niche or a niche bunch of lawyers. It should percolate this to the society, because this is a tool for the society. If we want to become an innovative society and we want to think about innovation and we want to become the number one innovative country in the world, then it should be part of our system.
Okay, so what basically is your vision of life? What you dream of?
I dream of many things. I dream of spending few years, a part of my time, of my my life, in educating people, spreading awareness, and of course, I like to fight for the rights of people. So that's something that I passionately work at. So it's my vision that I will create people, or I will educate people, impart knowledge, so that you have another bunch, another generation who becomes very well aware. So that's the reason why I go to so many institutions, recommend that IPR should become part of their curriculum, and then teach them IPR in a very simple way, because it's not so complicated as we all think. It's not complicated at all. It can be taught to people in a simple way, and those are the things that I really want to do. I'm working towards that.
What is your message for our young generation and for our viewers especially?
For our young generation who have so many options of so many careers, I think patience is something that they must have. The next generation is looking for everything instant, like an instant noodle. So everything is not an instant noodle. There are many things in life that come with patience and a lot of hard work, and especially the law profession. When you take, I mean, you can take any profession that you want as long as you really love it. But if you take the law profession, take it only if you really love it. If you really love being a lawyer, don't take a profession because my father was a lawyer, my uncle was a lawyer. That's not the reason.
Anything that you would like to convey, especially to our Buzzmylife readers or viewers? Anything to them?
Sure. We are now working towards becoming a number one innovative nation. So for all the viewers and everyone who is reading these blogs and who are following this, I think we should take it from here. We should not make it just an interview, just a discussion. Take it further in our life, and perhaps make IPR a very important part. Spread the awareness about it and learn more about it. Be curious and come up with new ideas. Never stop inventing, never stop growing. That's the motto, because you can grow at any age. You've never stopped anywhere. Just keep growing. You have to keep growing, and then you will reach different heights.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable time that you have given Buzzmylife the time, and your opinions really matter to us. We got to know a lot many things because we only see our bottom, but we do not see the the efforts and things and the legal things behind that. But we have got that knowledge. So thank you for enlightening us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.